Residents of Osun State in southwest Nigeria today voted for their choice candidates into 71 out of the 389 council wards in the state. Electoral officials say that there was a low turnout of voters, but elections were not held in 318 wards where candidates were returned unopposed.
As early as 7 a.m., security officers arrive at the polling units where the local government elections are expected to hold. But the officials of the Osun State Electoral Commission did not get to the polling units until about 8:45 a.m., whilst election materials were delivered around 9 a.m.
We don't have our ballot paper yet. We don't have our registered voters form. We don't have it yet. So, but they are coming to give it to us now.
Only 6 political parties are participating in this election, with the PDP pulling out of the exercise. Accreditation and voting commenced peacefully in both Osun Central and Osun West senatorial districts. But the turnout of voters was low in most of the polling units, and the voters say they envisaged a peaceful election.
I want to believe if all things goes well with what I'm saying today, we have a success story to say about today's election.
However, the story was different in Osun East Senatorial District as pandemonium broke out at Iremo 3 and London Street in Ile-Ife, where some unidentified men were said to have engaged in a bottle fight, scaring the voters away.
This particular boss came with some hoodlums and then supported with other people there, you know, with the fear of gun and other things. Our guys fled, and they witnessed it, even with pictures. They took pictures, they saw the white minibus doing away with some sensitive materials, and they left.
With calm restored by the police, the exercise continues. Thereafter, counting commenced in all the wards and ballot papers taken to the local government areas for onward collation before the final announcement of the result. The Osun State local government election was conducted in a parliamentary pattern. It is meant for ward councillors only, who will in turn choose their council chairman amongst themselves. This pattern of election runs contrary to the existing presidential system in Nigeria, where both the councillors and chairman are voted for directly by the electorate.
Aggressive construction of roads and bridges will continue in all parts of Anambra State, and that's according to the State Governor, Willie Obiano. Governor Obiano was speaking at an inspection tour of some of the ongoing projects in the state, where he assured the people of speedy completion.
The Nengo Bridge in Nteje Community, Oyi local government area of Anambra State. Governor Willie Obiano's inspection train arrives at the bridge, which has bore the brunt occasioned by the infrastructural decay of the Enugu-Onitsha Expressway throughout the 2017 rainy season. The governor urges the contractor to ensure speedy completion of the project.
Because of the bad the state of the express road, most of the traffic decided to divert towards this direction, and there was an unusual hold-up during that period. That prompted us to quickly decide to do this bridge.
The traditional ruler of Nteje is grateful to the governor for living up to expectation in the administration of the state, even as the contractor gives assurances of the project's timely completion.
This thing we have fear of any kind, because we know what we can do. You are the only person who remember this community for decades. You are the only governor. Not because you are here, but it's what happened. I'm saying it good. Yes. Therefore, I'm dumbfounded. I don't know how to thank you people.
We promised His Excellency now that we are ready to finish all the work for this bridge in 3 to 4 months, and after that it will be motorable. And we assured the Igwe that our bridge is ready to carry any heavy machine pass here.
The inspection train then stops over at Anambra East local government area to see more roads under construction, including Ugungbede, where a 4.3-kilometer road is also being worked on. The traditional ruler, who is also a contractor, takes the governor around to see other road projects in various locations. The Commissioner for Road Infrastructure, Furniture and Maintenance speaks on the importance of some of the projects, while Governor Obiano reaffirmed his commitment in completing them long after they were awarded.
This road is very, very important to the economic, social and cultural integration of our people. This road will take you from the road going down to Otuacha, and it will take you to link the other one going to Onitsha.
We'll continue to do the roads and the bridges. We don't do things because of politics. You know, people think we started this thing because election was coming. You can see the election is over, we have won, but that we are doing well over 44 roads already. And we are working hard to see if we can complete them before the rain comes.
The traditional ruler of Igbariam community, Kelly Nzekwe, was with the governor to inspect the St. Anthony of Padua Road project as well, just as the Anambra state government is now set to mobilize the contractors in the next few days to complete ongoing projects before the rain set in.
Meanwhile, in River State, Governor Nyesom Wike is reassuring the people that he is committed to completing the ongoing major road and link others to it almost 2 decades after the road was first awarded. Governor Wike is also setting a timeline for the contractors to quickly complete the project.
As early as 6 a.m., the River State Governor Nyesom Wike begins inspection of some major projects his government is looking to conclude ahead of his 3rd anniversary. One thing he considers very important is the timing of the projects for early completion.
When the rain comes, here you can't say the rain will be so time. You can't say so. So when you have the opportunity, it's dry now, it's sunny, you use it. But when the rain comes, nobody knows. So you can't say, oh, because the rains have come, we have to slow down work.
The journey continues to the riverine communities in Andoni. The people here depend largely on the river for their means of livelihood. Most times they use makeshift bridges to link other communities.
We made promise to the people of Andoni and Opopo that, God willing, they will drive our road to the various areas, and that's what we intend to achieve. But I'm quite satisfied with what I've seen, only for them to put more, try to get more labor and get some more workers, and which they have promised that they are going to do that, to see that we got to the extent which we have already said we will.
The Unity Road is expected to link more than 200 communities on the Andoni-Opobo-Nkoro axis and also ease the means of transportation for the people when it's completed. Emmanuel Irei, Channels Television News.
Let's quickly shift gears now to business news with Emana Amawe.
Welcome to Business News. The value of the Naira firmed across foreign segments of the forex market following the central bank's intervention at the interbank forex market with a sum of $304.4 million. The latest dollar supply was in favor of agriculture, airlines, petroleum products and raw materials, as well as machinery sectors. The local currency rose by 19 kobo to 360 naira 35 kobo against the dollar at the investors and exporters forex window and exchanged at 361 naira at the parallel market. The CBN has spent nearly $16 billion within 9 months of its weekly dollar supply to the foreign exchange market, particularly at the investors and exporters window, which recorded over $27.8 billion of the intervention. And at the equities market, the index halted its 3 consecutive weeks of rally, with the all-share index declining by 2.93% to 43,773.76. Investors took profit across most sectors. The banking index led the losers, followed by the insurance and industrial goods indices. However, the consumer goods and oil and gas indices closed positive as investors demanded for the shares of Dangote Sugar and Seplat. Analysts expect mixed trading in the coming week, but maintain that the market remains positive on the back of favorable macroeconomic conditions. To some company news now, Teleology Holdings Limited and Smile Communications have emerged as two top contenders out of 5 successful bidders for troubled telecoms company 9 Mobile. This comes despite a court ruling on January the 12th, which was expected to have put the ongoing acquisition process, supervised by Barclays Africa, in shambles. Teleology, a private equity firm with an investment portfolio of $11 billion, offered more than $500 million to acquire 9 Mobile, while Smile Telecoms Holdings, a telco operating in Nigeria, Uganda, DR Congo and South Africa, offered about $300 million. The preferred bidder out of the two companies is expected to make payment within 30 days and take full ownership of the troubled telecommunications company. An official announcement is expected to be made next week, while the Nigerian Communications Commission will have the final say after the decision of the interim board. And still talking telecoms, the Nigerian Communications Commission says it will play host to a stakeholders meeting on mobile voice termination rates on February the 1st. The forum is expected to avail stakeholders in the telecom sector the opportunity to hear the findings conducted by PricewaterhouseCoopers in the study and discuss issues of concern to all parties. The findings will center on cost-based study for determination of mobile voice termination rates in Nigeria. The Executive Vice Chairman of the NCC, Professor Umar Garuba Dambata, and other directors of the Commission will host the stakeholders to the forum at the Digital Bridge Institute, Oshodi, Lagos. And that's it on Business News tonight. Thank you for staying with us. I'm Emana Amawe. It's back to Gimba.
Barely 1 week after the former publicity secretary of the People's Democratic Party, Mr. Olisa Metuh, was reportedly admitted at an intensive care unit of the Nnamdi Azikiwe University Teaching Hospital, Nnewi, on emergency, his doctors say that his health condition is still not stable. The chief medical director of the hospital, Professor Anthony Igwegwe, told Channels Television that Mr. Metuh needs urgent surgery on his spinal cord as he is gradually losing feelings at the lower region of his body. A presiding judge at the Federal High Court in Abuja, Justice Okonabang, had on Thursday rejected Olisa Metuh's application for adjournment of his trial for fraud as a result of ill health and ordered him to appear in court on February the 5th. But the CMD of the hospital, while reacting to the issue of the alleged fake medical report presented by the patient to the court, explains that the letter was issued by the hospital's neurosurgeon, who has been managing Mr. Metuh's health since he was admitted in the hospital.
The assessment found that he has degenerative spinal cord disease, and there's a cord compression at the level of the cervical level and also the thoracic level, 2 areas, multifocal compression, cord compression. And with this, he has affected the muscles, his motor and the sensation as well. So there's limitation of movement, but especially in the lower limbs, that he cannot sit properly or walk as at the time of admission. And so he's in ICU, has been lying and then on a neck collar, and we're managing conservatively. But the definitive treatment is surgery to ease the compression. Here we don't have a spinal cord surgeon. This is a specialized area in neurosurgery.
Still ahead on the news at 10, Caroline Wozniacki wins her first ever Grand Slam title in Melbourne after beating Simona Halep 7-6, 3-6, 6-4 in the women's single final at the Australian Open. That's on Sports News. Stay with us.